Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to start this thing up here in a second. If you're coming in, hit the like button. That's important. We will be giving away 2 free games today on the show, so stay tuned for that. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, how about we start this thing? Hey man, what's up? How you doing?
What's up?
So, even though we didn't have a whole lot to talk about on the movie channel,
Got a lot to talk about here.
On the
game world is bumping.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially with us doing this bi-weekly. By the time we get to the show, it's like even double the amount of stuff.
I have to write things down the last week. I can remember talking about it this week. So.
Yeah, that's sort of what I did. Yeah. So just a reminder to let everybody know, right now this show is streaming on the main channel as well as the gaming channel, which is RSG Plays. We're going to probably do one more show on both, and then after that, it's strictly going to be on just the gaming channel, which is RSG Plays. So if you have not subscribed to RSG Plays, I do really recommend you guys go subscribe over there. We did go up like maybe 30 subscribers since the last stream. So again, just if you guys can go over there and sub, I'm going to put the link in the chat here in just a second. Bear with me. So just go over there and sub if you're not watching it on there. Also, at some point in the stream, I will be giving away two free games. These aren't like anything like super new or whatever, but these are 2 games that were given to me. And I already own Wolfenstein 2. I do not play Minecraft, so I will be giving away these games throughout the stream. How I'm going to do it is I'm just going to post it in the live chat. First come, first serve. Both games are on the Xbox and PC platform. You can redeem the code in either your Xbox or you can redeem the codes on your PC through the Microsoft Store. So I will be posting those codes at about one code through the midway point and then the other code toward the end. And you guys could redeem them. Anybody can have them. You don't want them, DJ can redeem. I don't care. Okay, they're just there. And I'm going to try to make a habit to have at least one game every stream. Probably from this point forward, it's probably going to be Steam games though, because
it's easier.
You know, it's easier, cheaper, and PC is really kind of on the uptake. So like we have a lot of stuff to talk about here. I guess we can talk about Battlefront and the rise of Battlefront 2. I know you've been playing it. I've been playing
reawakening of Battlefront.
Yeah, I kind of want to get your thoughts on it because you didn't play it during its initial launch. I'm actually playing it. This is my replay. I beat it when it first came out back in 2018, I think it was.
I think it came in 2017 when it came out. So
it's been almost 10 years. Yeah. So I know you download it. There's a real uprise in it right now. I think it's like over 100,000 people on Steam is playing.
Oh yeah. This is crazy.
Yeah, they just released a Steam sale for it because they were selling so many. They're like, hey, let's put this thing on sale.
Well, if you have Game Pass, it's free on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
You have to go through the EA app to download it, but it's still free.
This is one of the games that came out. I enjoyed it so much when it came out. I own it digitally on the PlayStation from PS4. I own it on Xbox, and I own it on Steam. I like the game. The backlash of the game came from the multiplayer with the microtransaction,
and that's why it failed at launch. Right?
That's why it failed at launch, and I was there. Me, Adam, my ex-wife at the time, we were at Star Wars Celebration, and we were at the panel when they announced the game.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw the trailer and everything. And when they announced microtransactions, the entire audience booed. and that was sort of like the first sign of like
that was the hype when like microtransaction was like peaking.
Yeah,
every game had a microtransaction. Like, even like COD had it.
Especially EA. EA was super big into microtransaction, and the problem with this one was the microtransaction was pay to win because it actually helped your progression through the multiplayer, and that was sort of the downfall.
I don't mind when I'm just buying skins or stuff like that. That's fine, but if it gives me an advantage, then that's when I don't like the microtransaction.
Yeah. But I still, to this day, and I guess people are starting to realize this, the story mode is goated, man. I love
I dropped 3 hours in it last night.
Yeah.
You know. And as a semi Star Wars fan, I'm getting more of the story. I'm loving it.
Yeah, once Andor finished, I was really like wanting to dive back into the soldier politic empire lore of it. And I really enjoyed Battlefront 2 because it tells you what happens after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
We see the Battle of Jakku in Force Awakens, but we don't see
the effects of it.
Yeah, and the final battle in Battlefront 2, I'm not going to spoil anything because you haven't completed the game. You get to live that battle, and it lives up to the hype. And this is the genius of this game. Because at the time, there was a series of novels called the Aftermath Trilogy, which took place on the Battle of Jakku. It was leading up to the Battle of Jakku. There was also comic books that were going on with Battle of Jakku. Battlefront 2 incorporated the books and the comics.
To the story?
At the end, characters from the books appear in the game. Like you hear them say, like, hey, Commander Wesley, you're doing, like they took the characters from the books and comics and it felt like one universe. Yeah. This was back when Disney cared about the canon. They don't care about it anymore. But yeah, I re-downloaded it. I'm right at the last chapter of the game and I'm having fun playing.
Yeah, I'm about midway through it, so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, the parts I don't like the most is when you get to play as the legend characters like Luke. And
I want to play that. Give me a nobody. Yeah.
I just want to play as the soldier doing the soldier thing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're enjoying it. You're playing it through Game Pass, yeah?
Yeah, I'm playing on PC. I will say for a 10-year-old game, this game looks amazing.
Amazing.
It is clean. I got it. I'm playing on ultra settings, and it's amazing because my computer can handle it.
Yeah, I'm playing on ultra settings, and you got me to where I changed the field of view now. I got the field of view to like max, and it just makes the frame rate look like I'm playing at like a 200 frames per second.
Yeah, I'm average like 190, 200. Yeah, it's smooth.
It's crazy. And I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, you can show this to anybody today.
And they wouldn't know it's a 10-year-old game. They'll think
they would not know it's almost a decade old.
It looks better in some current games, honestly.
Yes, some current games that, again, remastered don't look anywhere near as good as this.
And that's why I thought it was a remaster while everybody was playing it when it first came out.
Yeah.
And when I started playing, I was like, this is not remastered. I looked up, it's not remastered.
No. Yeah, it just looks really, really good. It was a really, really good engine. EA always had a way with making their games look really, really good, but they always self-sabotaged themselves.
Yeah.
They always self-sabotage themselves and kind of put their foot in their mouth with the microtransactions. And then when they got to the Jedi Fallen Order series, they were able to finally, like, okay, we're not going to do microtransactions. So,
well, answer Joey's question. He's asked how come a lot more people are playing Battlefront 2 again. It's because I think Andor came out and everybody's and the fans are just getting together and re-downloading it to show that they want a Battlefront 3. So they're saying they're trying to show the dev that the community is still here and they want a Battlefront 3. Now, like we talked about earlier, we all know this won't happen next month.
No,
it'll be years before we get a Battlefront 3, but hopefully it shows the powers that be. Okay, it might be something to put some money behind because the fan base is here for it. They're asking for it. So
it was this thing because right now there's no current Star Wars game. Yeah, right. You have Jedi Fallen Survivor or Jedi Survivor, whatever.
All of them been one player, right?
Yeah, that's a one-player single-player game.
It's the only multiplayer.
Yeah, and then you have Star Wars Outlaws, which has a lot of backlash. But the thing is, if you just finished watching Andor and the hype for Andor is so high, what's the game that you can play that feels like Andor? Battlefront 2 is that game.
Yeah, because you're on that ground level.
Yeah, you see what happened with the building of the Death Star. Now you get to see what happens like
after
the Death Star is destroyed, or the second Death Star rather is destroyed, and how they're rebuilding Republic. It's the closest thing to that Andor feel.
Yeah.
Where Outlaws is more like a Han Solo,
you get a more personal story, and you get to see how the feeling of everything is in that world at that time, the climate of the politics of the war, the rebellion, the Empire side, how they're restructuring, because now people within the Empire questioning the Empire now. So it's like,
people in the Empire is questioning like Palpatine. Like the one scene, I don't know if you got to, I think you did, where you see Iden Versio's father talking to the robot with Palpatine's face. Like all that comes straight out of the comic books and like the Project Cinder comics, and they mentioned that in Mandalorian season 2 when when Mando and Bill Burr's character infiltrates the Empire base, and he's like, Project Cinder was a great day for the Empire, and like all that ties in, and people start like the characters like Del Mico starts to realize like, oh, especially when he comes across Luke, like, how come you didn't kill me? And Luke's like, you didn't make me. Like your people.
Oh, on the bug planet.
Whatever. He's like, why'd you help me? He's like, because you asked.
Yeah.
And you're like, you killed my people. He's like, yeah, well, they didn't give me no choice. You did. And it's it also ties into the lore with Luke at that time, where Luke is going around looking for Jedi artifacts because he found that compass, which ties into Last Jedi and stuff like that. So that's when Lucasfilm and Disney were actually trying. And then they just kind of like, we don't care anymore. Hey, let's throw out the acolyte. But that's Battlefront 2. Do you have anything else to say about that before we jump into the next topic?
Hashtag Battlefront 3.
Hashtag Battlefront 3. If you guys are coming in, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. So I want to talk about the Doom sales. Doom the Dark Ages.
Did you played any of it? I played it. Did you finish it?
Dude, I only played the first 3 levels.
I played about an hour of it. I mean, it's just a Doom game. It's like it's not much.
That's the way I feel about it, man. I played Doom back from the original Doom.
This one had more story in it. I will say
it does. The cutscenes,
but again, it's just shoot. Use your shield. I use the shield more than anything else. Yeah, dodge. It is what it is. I mean, if you're a Doom fan, it's got a big following. So
the thing is, right? If it wasn't on Game Pass,
I wouldn't have played it.
I wouldn't have played it. Because I played Doom 2016 and I thought it was fine, but after like 2 hours, I just kind of like
it's very repetitive. It's the same thing.
Same thing with Doom Eternal. I much prefer the Wolfenstein games because they have more story to them, and a lot more what was it? I don't know, just
substance to it.
Substance, it just isn't like run and gun with loud music and all that. But when it comes to the Doom sales, so a lot of people are going around going, "Oh, mostly these are PlayStation fanboys. Oh, Doom: The Dark Ages failed, Xbox failed, right?" Well, the chart that they used to prove this was the Steam chart, like the peak, the head.
Go to the Game Pass chart. I'm pretty sure everybody is playing on Game Pass,
right? Because the charts they're showing is from Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I believe Doom Eternal came out during COVID. Everybody was playing that game. And not only that, like you just said, most people that have PC, they're just going to play it on Game Pass for free. Like
why would I pay for it on Steam?
Why would I pay $70 when I can pay $12 and get it on Steam? And that's what I did. And then the kind of shut people up, Bethesda and id came out and posted 3 million players.
Oh, that was
kind of shut people up. Like, hey, we confirmed 3 million players because people will do whatever they can to try to make Xbox look bad. Like, oh, Xbox ruined Doom. No, it's just the people that normally pay full price. And this, you're going to see a lot more of this coming forward. It's just people aren't going to pay full price.
We talked about it in our movie. Show, is people are being more critique on where they spend their money at.
Yes, 100%.
And what they spend their money on.
150%.
And I said like next year, I only know one game for sure I'm buying next year, and that's GTA.
Yeah, next
It's
year.
the one game I know I will pay money for.
There's only one game I'm paying full price for this year, and that's Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake.
Okay.
That's the only game I'm going to be buying this year. But there's a trailer that came out. There was like an indie convention that came out earlier this week
for indie games.
And yeah, they showed a game called Blades of Fire.
Okay.
And this trailer looked awesome, right? It's on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, but not on Steam. It's on Epic Game Store. Okay. And I'm looking at this trailer. I'm like, oh man, this looks like a throwback to the PS3, Xbox 360 days. So I went on Epic Game Store to see how much it was. $60. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm not paying full price for a game I might not like because I like the trailer for
especially an indie game. I'm not saying nothing wrong with indie games, but usually indie games are a little bit cheaper, like 30, 40 bucks.
Yeah.
You know?
But there was a trailer that came out a couple weeks ago called Captain Blood.
Yeah, I played the demo.
Yeah, which is also from the Xbox 360 era. It was never made. That game is $30. $25. Yeah. I'm more inclined to spend $25 on a game that, hey, if I don't like it, $25. $60,
that's a lot.
We do got a super chat coming in from Mason Clark, throwing in a super chat. Hot take: the Batman Arkham games are kind of overrated. The Spider-Man games are better and tell better stories. What do you guys say? I actually disagree with you quite a bit on that.
I only played the first Arkham game,
so the reason why I disagree with you is, and I've played every one of these games, and I have completed every one of these games. To me, the only really good and replayable Spider-Man games is the Miles Morales game. Yeah. It's about 8 to 10 hours long. The story is fantastic. Miles' powers is better than Peter Parker's powers. The first Spider-Man game is like 15, 20 hours long. That's way too long for a Spider-Man game. The second one is 30 hours long. And a lot of it is just busy work for the sake of busy work.
And you're Mary Jane half the freaking time.
Yeah, you're playing as Mary Jane with a taser. You're riding bikes in a neighborhood. Why am I riding bikes in a neighborhood in a video game?
Actually swinging around Spider-Man.
It's just the Miles Morales game, beautiful. I have beaten the Miles Morales game 3 times. I've only played the Peter games once each.
I borrowed my brother's PlayStation to play the Miles Morales game.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. Especially if you get it on Steam. It's so good. The Batman Arkham games, here's the thing.
I want to play the first one, so.
The Batman games are the blueprints for the Spider-Man games. The Spider-Man games, the Arkham games had to crawl in order for Spider-Man to walk. They copied the battle mechanics and the power-ups and stuff. Like the reversals, the punch techniques, everything, all of that came straight out of the Arkham game. If it wasn't for the Arkham games to come up with that system,
lay the foundation for it.
Yeah, lay the foundation.
Took it and enhanced it basically.
So, and the only Arkham game I didn't like was Arkham Knight. I just did not like that game. That's when they started diving into sort of I call it the Spider-Man problem, where you play as Mary Jane and play as all
the other characters.
You play in the Batmobile for a lot of the game, and like I don't want to drive around and like it feels clunky. I don't want to play in this thing. I just want to play as Batman. I think Arkham, like my favorite Arkham game is Arkham Origins. It's the one that people least talk about, but it's the smallest of the game. There's a trend here. I like shorter games. Sue me. It's the shorter of the game. It has the better story. You get to fight Deathstroke. It's a more personal Batman story, much like Miles Morales is a more personal Spider-Man story. So I actually really disagree with your take on that, Mason Clark. I think if we wouldn't have the Batman games, we wouldn't have the Spider-Man games that we have today. I think one had to crawl in order for the other to walk. And I think, me personally, that the Spider-Man games are the ones that are overrated, to be honest with you. I don't know about you, but I don't play video games for story. I play video games to play video games.
I do and I don't. It depends on what kind of game I'm playing. There's certain games that I really love the story of the games. Is why I come back to them. There's a series called Ace Combat. It's a fighter simulator game that I played, but it has a very good underlying war story in it. And I play that for the story. But like you, most of I want some good, I don't like when I'm playing a game and I play for 2 minutes and it's like 10 minutes
cutscene.
2 minutes play cutscene. That's what I'm getting tired of. So when it comes to that kind of story, it kind of annoying.
back in the day, the game was all gameplay and you rewarded with a cutscene.
Yeah.
Now it's all cutscenes and you're rewarded with a gameplay.
Yeah.
And with the Batman game, there's a lot more gameplay than there is story. I love story. Okay, I'm not gonna sound like a hypocrite because Expedition 33, I beat it this past Monday. It's my game of the year. It's probably my favorite game of the past 5-6 years.
I would say gameplay first, and then story to enhance my gameplay. That makes sense.
Yes. You go back and look at the original God of War on the PS2. Like, it's a hack and slash game. It's a puzzle game. It's a platformer game.
It's a fun game.
Yes. And at the end of each level, you get like a 5-minute cutscene that advances the story. Now there's games that the whole freaking first chapter.
Indiana Jones.
Dude, I downloaded that, by the way. I have not played it yet.
Dude, I stopped playing. Like, literally, the first 2 hours, it's probably an hour and a half of cutscenes. It's bad. Like, dude, literally, you will go from room to room in the cutscene. My
brother recommended a game to me called Forspoken. Have you ever heard of it?
Heard of it, yes.
It's got the black chick who played in the new Charlie's Angels in it. She also played in the Resident Evil Netflix show.
Yeah.
I kind of have like a crush on her, so I was like, okay, I'll play it. The first chapter, you don't even play the game, bro.
You watch a movie.
Like, I was streaming it, and people were like, "Has he even played yet?" I was like, "No, it's all cutscenes. Like, it's all cutscenes for the first chapter."
And that trailer, I remember when that's when the PS5 first came out, right?
Yes, it was one of the launch titles.
It was one of their showcase. It was showing the controller and everything.
Yep. I got about 10 hours in, and I text my brother. I'm like, bro, I don't think this game is for me, man. Like, this game ain't for me. He's like, it gets better. You just got to wait till you get to the sword. I'm like, I'm 10 hours in. How much longer till I get the freaking sword? It's just like, oh, man. It's like, you would think it would be up my alley. Female protagonist, adventure game, platform. But when it's all story, and what's worse is when it's all story and it's characters you don't care about.
Yeah.
Like, because Metal Gear is like hours and hours of cutscenes, but man, I care about every one of those characters. You remember back like Halo, like it was like all gameplay, and then you get like a little bit of cutscenes, you know, to tell the story.
But they were good cutscenes, like
it
drove the story forward. Like we always talk about the end of the Halo 4.
Yeah,
Katana dies.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite moments in video game history. I was on my couch crying,
bro.
Crying.
I remember when that scene happened. My brother was in the living room with me. My friend Lee was in the living room, and my ex-wife at the time was in. And I am bawling, just bawling. And my brother, who's trying to act all tough, gets up and goes to the bathroom. And I know he went in there to cry, bro. He came out, he was like, "Man, you're a baby, bro." And then at the end, when Master Chief is looking out the window, and he's like, "She said that to me once," and they start playing the original Halo music, bro, both of us just started crying. And that's how you balance it, man. Yeah. That's how you balance it. It's just, I find, and this is mostly Sony who's guilty of this, and this is not getting in a console war debate because I play everything. Sony is very much like, we're movies first, gaming second. Yes. And that's sort of what, dude, you know what I've been playing for the past 2 days? You're going to laugh when I tell you. Pac-Man Repack.
I just downloaded the new retro game they have on Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm up. I saw that they got Mech Warrior, and I'm like, yes.
I've been hearing good things about that because you can, they have a lot of Atari games, but you can take your score up against people around the world.
Oh, they have leaderboards?
They're leaderboards. And like Metal Jesus, who's a big YouTuber, is like number 2 in one of his games. Oh, and he's like hell bent on trying to get the number 1 spot. Yeah. And I'm like, that's cool. See, I want them to come out with like a joystick for it though.
Like a new version.
Yeah. That would be awesome. But yeah, so the Pac-Man game is called Pac-Man Repack. It's Pac-Man World. So it's like a platform. No, it's a platformer like Mario.
Oh, okay.
But with the Pac-Man character, it's like a 3D game. And my wife's like, "This isn't Pac-Man," but you can like get secret levels that makes it look like the original Pac-Man. And I'm just I'm playing this game for hours. I was playing it last night, and I text my brother. I'm like, "Dude, this game is awesome." I had it on the Switch, but I never opened it, and I ended up selling it in my collection. Me and my brother, we share Steam accounts, so whatever he buys, I get to play. Whatever I buy, he gets to play. and he bought it because it was on sale. So I'm like, I'll just download it and play it. Bro, man, I've been addicted. And there's no story. It's just playing the game. Yeah. So it's actually phenomenal. Dude, I've been talking this whole time. Mason threw another super chat. Did you ever play Batman Vengeance or Sintaku? I did not. Batman Vengeance was one of the games I was going to get on the original Xbox back when I was collecting, but I never purchased it personally. No. I'm looking up the other game. I
think I played that game. Hold on. No, I did not play that one.
Oh, Rise of Sintatsu, yeah. Yeah, it's based off the Batman animated
series. Yeah.
It was one of those games I had because I was buying original Xbox and 360 games like very regularly, but there came a point, and I don't know, maybe it's old age or whatnot, but I just thought like, what am I buying all these games for? I can't take this when I'm dead. And that was around the point where I kind of lost faith in console gaming. And then it was like when me and DJ started talking more, and DJ was a PC gamer, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take the step toward PC gaming. It seems like I can achieve everything that I want to do, but all in one system, you know? And now, speaking of which, I didn't put this as a topic, but Steam just released the Steam OS publicly for everybody.
Yeah.
So you can take a PC or a handheld and turn it into a Steam console using the Steam OS and Steam.
There was some update that Xbox did was it basically is opening for them to have Steam on their console. Dude, that's gonna be game changing right there.
I'll tell you what, I kind of told my brother like, there's no way I'm gonna buy the next Xbox or next PlayStation. I don't think I'm gonna buy them. I still want to buy the Switch too, but dude, the game prices got to come down.
If they come out with their own handheld, I might buy Xbox handheld.
Yeah, if their next console has Steam on it,
I might get it.
I might get it, man.
Just to have like an extra, just something.
Because I have such a huge Steam library. I have like 600 games on Steam. Plus, you add Game Pass on that. Like, bro, all I have to do is just buy the console. I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah,
you know, because I have like a 50-foot HDMI cable to run my PC to the living room, so I can, like, if I want to lay back and just play on the big TV, I can play. But I still like the idea of just having like a console where I can press a button and play. My Steam Deck works for that, but not for everything. If Microsoft can come up with an Xbox that has Steam incorporated with it, that's something that I think not only me, but I think a lot of people would really be interested in.
I'm trying to get a job that I'll be on the road more, and if they do have a console that has Steam on it, and I can bring that console with me where I'm at, I would definitely do that.
Well, I seen a lot of people have taken the ROG Ally, which is a Windows machine, and they're installing the Steam OS onto it, and they're turning it into like a high value Steam Deck. Yeah. Dude, the Steam Deck, it's one of my favorite purchases, man. I love that thing. Like, I love it. When it comes to power, it has about the same power as a PS4 or an Xbox One, right? Like, because for example, Sony money-hatted Wukong, Blacksmith Wukong, you know that game with the ape?
Yeah.
And a lot of the story was, well, the Xbox Series S wasn't strong enough
to play it.
Yeah. Dude, I can play it at 60 frames per second on my Steam Deck. So if my Steam Deck can play it, it's about the same.
A lot of that goes back to developer. If they don't optimize it for a certain console or system, it won't play well on that system. So
and Steam has been doing a really good job optimizing these games. Like every PlayStation game that goes to Steam has been optimized for the Steam Deck. Like you can play God of War, you can play Spider-Man. I play Miles Morales on my Steam Deck.
Okay.
I use it more for RPGs, because I don't want to sit at my desk playing, level grinding. So I'll go play it in my living room or whatnot.
More comfortable, whatever.
Yeah, play it in bed when my wife is sleeping or whatnot. But I love the Steam Deck. That's one reason also why I'm not in a hurry for a Switch 2. Because
the Switch 2, this not just the whole concept. I just don't have a desire for it right now. And with the whole thing that Nintendo's doing, I just don't.
There isn't a game that makes me want to get it.
Yeah.
Right? Like the biggest game that's coming out that I want to play on it is Metroid Prime 4. But they're also making a Switch 1 version.
So why?
So okay, one goes to 120 frames per second, one goes to 60 frames per second. I'd rather save $1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And just
exactly.
buy the $60 version.
It wasn't gonna make that much of a difference to you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, and to me, Mario Kart World isn't enough for me to drop $800.
I can't justify it. I don't care what people say.
They would have to release. Like, when it comes to Nintendo, I'm a big Zelda and Metroid fan. Mm-hmm. They would have to make a Zelda game that I'm like, I need to play this.
And it only comes out on the Switch too.
Yeah, and it only comes out on the Switch too. And I just don't see.
Aren't they remastering the last one for Switch too?
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom.
So why?
Tears of the Kingdom's getting a remaster patch, but it's gonna cost $80. Breath of the Wild, which came out in 2017, is getting a patch, and it's $70.
That's crazy, man.
Like, where do you think in this economy? Like, I'm sitting here,
you're repackaging the new games. All you're doing.
Yes, and the funny thing is, because Xbox, right? If you have Xbox One games and you play them on your Series X, for free you get the Series X upgrade.
Yeah, they upscale them for you.
Yeah, they do that with 360 and original Xbox games. You can put in like Halo 3. And it automatically has higher frame rates and higher resolution because of, whatever Xbox does. This nickel and diamond thing with the Switch is what kills me. I was hyped for it. You saw my stream.
Oh yeah, I was too.
Like,
but
bro.
When that price came out, I was like,
And it's not even the hardware price that bothers me. It's the software price.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know if you care about this. This is one of the last topics I have before we get to the two big topics. Did you see the Warhammer Space Marine announcement for Xbox?
No, I didn't see. Oh, it's coming to Xbox?
Yeah, so Space Marine 2 came out last year.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games last year. You want to talk about everything we talked about earlier about all gameplay, no cussing?
Yeah, about Doom. Yeah.
Space Marine 2 was that, man. It was just like balls to the... It felt like Gears of War, right? It's like just cover shooter, just kill everything. Like, at the end of each level, you get like a 10-minute cutscene, and it's progressed. And it was so fun. It was like 8 hours long. I was gifted the game. I didn't buy the game, so big shout out to Geeky Guy because he bought me the game.
I've been waiting for it to come on sale on Steam.
Yeah, and dude, I've been recommending it to everybody. Like, it's so good. Well, this past week, the Warhammer company had their showcase where they show all the upcoming Warhammer games, and in that showcase was Space Marine 1, the enhanced edition.
Oh, they
remastered, enhanced only for the Xbox and PC.
Let's go.
PlayStation fans are losing their minds, bro. They're on Twitter. They're going, oh, so we all win when we play everywhere, right? But except for when it comes to Warhammer Space Marine. Oh, so
I don't want to hear it. The games that they had to themselves, I don't want to hear it.
People, they're like, oh, releasing it on the third place console, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, don't release it on the number one selling console. What sense does that make?
The PC, right? The PC.
But it's day one on Game Pass. Not only is it coming on Xbox, it's coming day one on Game Pass.
Free.
But here's the thing that makes me mad, man, is these people had no problem when PlayStation money had a Stellar Blade. You go back to look at the original trailer.
Helldivers. It did the Helldivers too.
Helldivers, Silent Hill 2, Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah,
all these games were supposed to go multi-platform.
But then the Sony threw their money at them.
Threw their money at them, bought the exclusivity rights, and none of these PlayStation fans cared.
Meanwhile, Xbox is giving you games right now. Our biggest games are coming to your console.
Yep. I think they said 6 of the top 10 selling games on PlayStation are Xbox games.
Yeah, wait till Halo gets released on freaking PlayStation.
Yeah, I had some idiot in my comments the other day say, how can you sit there and say that Xbox is winning right now? And I'm like, well, because they released all these games this year and PlayStation has released nothing. And then they start pointing out like third-party games that PlayStation got. I'm like, bro, those are third-party games.
No exclusives. Name one exclusive.
Days Gone remastered. Last of Us.
You can't count a remaster. You cannot count a remaster.
Yeah. But I think it was funny because Space Marine 2 sold very well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like me rave about it.
Yeah.
And I've been
I heard nothing good about it.
So if you play with friends and just have a couple beers, it's that much better. Yeah. You know? But Space Marine 1 I do own on Steam, but it's not, you know, it's an old game. It's like 360 era. So there's only so much you can do. This is being upscaled at 4K, higher frame rate, newer textures, new character models, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, thank you, Joey, for that. I forgot to add that as a topic. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
But yeah, and the way I look at it is, it's going to go to PlayStation. I think this was just a thing where Microsoft, obviously, Microsoft's not trying to keep stuff off PlayStation. They're releasing their own games on PlayStation. Yeah. This was a situation where they were like, "Hey, we're going to throw you Game Pass money. We're going to put it on Game Pass.
Can we have it first, basically?"
Dude, the Game Pass numbers have been going up, man, especially on the PC side.
I'm telling you, that goes back to the economy. People are like, well, I'll just pay, $12 a month and get whatever games for free that month and play those games for free.
Yes.
Instead of having to buy and I get some day one exclusive games too on top of that.
So especially if there's a game that you don't like. Like I downloaded that Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem or whatever on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Played it for 5 minutes. I deleted it. Now, if I would have bought that, I would have been upset.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But even on Steam, you have what? I think a couple
2 hours.
2 hours? You can return the game for
2
free.
hours to return it. Yeah. So it's really a great deal. So anyway, I'm super excited for Warhammer Space Marine. I'm not a Warhammer fan. I love the Space Marine games. Mm-hmm. And I'm really, really enjoying it. So if you haven't played it, I believe it comes out June 10th on Game Pass. I would highly recommend it. Yeah. So I'm glad Joey brought this up. I can't believe I totally forgot this, but Hellblade 2 was announced earlier this week, coming to PlayStation 5. And a lot of people are losing their mind about it. I'm okay with it. Hellblade 2 came out last year or the year before?
I think 2 years ago. Probably.
I don't know. It was a while ago. I played it on my old PC. That's how long ago it was. I was playing on a 2080, and I was still getting 60 frames on high settings.
It was a year ago.
Yeah. I think it won a couple awards at the Game Awards. I love the game.
I was at first. I thought it was a walking simulator. At first, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
at first.
If someone comes up to me, my brother's like, "Look, I tried. I can't get into it." I perfectly understand.
You have to get past that first.
You have to
20 minutes or 30 minutes of just walking.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Once you start the battling and you get into the story,
it's good.
By the end, I fell in love with it. It was one of my favorite games. It's like 5-6 hours, so you're not investing a whole lot of time into it. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that PlayStation fans, because Hellblade 1 was on PlayStation. Mm-hmm. I'm glad PlayStation, again, this is gonna be another game that's gonna be topping the PlayStation sale. That's an Xbox game. Like, it's the Trojan horse, people. They're taking over the PlayStation console. The PlayStation fans don't even know it.
They're focused on this one spot. Xbox like, we'll come around the backside.
I'm waiting for Microsoft to release a PlayStation controller that looks like an Xbox. It's gonna.
I remember when this game came out. I played. I was like, this is the first game that looks next gen on my Xbox.
Other than Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Like, when people say next gen, like, I think Grand Theft Auto and I think Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
Like, that was
the first game. I was like, this looks like a next gen game.
I remember showing it to my wife. I'm like, she's like, is that a movie? I'm like, man.
Yeah. My girlfriend was like, is that? No, it's a video game. She's like, what? Like, I turned my character. She's like, oh, wow.
It's even on widescreen format, which I hope the Enhanced Edition removes those bars. Because I don't really care for those bars.
Unless you have a big TV, it doesn't really do anything. Like, on my monitor, it's not doing anything for me. So
I play on a 27-inch monitor, so I didn't really care for the bars. I still played through the game. I know the Xbox Series S and X was only 30 frames. I think they're gonna up that to 60. If you play on PC, you can play up to like 120.
If you play it, make sure you have good headphones, because that audio with the voices and everything is
So I feel like it's a good thing. I'm glad PlayStation fans get to play it. It's just more money for Xbox, so Xbox can keep putting out more games. And I just think it's a good thing.
Xbox right now, I think, and I don't think PS fans they figured it out yet. They have a better strategy right now. They're like, we're not going to focus on the console because we can't win that fight head up, but we can beat you in the gaming category.
So have you heard the latest rumor going around with PlayStation? I don't know if it's true. I see it all over Twitter. Apparently, Hiroki Hitoki, who's one of the CEOs of PlayStation, had a conference call with shareholders, and he said that PlayStation fans have to come to terms with PlayStation games coming to Xbox. Now, I've been seeing this quote. Here, I'm gonna. It's all over Twitter, man.
Yeah,
it's all over Twitter. I'm not gonna go too far down Twitter.
He's realizing what Xbox is doing.
Yeah. But it's just going everywhere, and they're just saying like, hey, you know, we're going multi-platform. I was seeing it everywhere, and I don't know if these things have been confirmed or not confirmed. But
it would make sense if you're just counting on yours, you know, you have to diversify, whatever, get your product out as many places as you can to make money.
Yeah. What I think PlayStation should do is much like Xbox is do timed exclusive, man.
Yeah.
Do timed exclusive.
They did Indiana Jones. It came out Xbox a year later.
Hellblade is timed exclusive. Indiana Jones was timed exclusive. You know, like put them out there. That way, you want your console sales. Okay, you still give people a reason to want to buy your console. You know, and then release it everywhere and make the fact that Hellblade 2 never or not. Yeah, not Hellblade. Helldivers. The fact that Helldivers 2 never made it to Xbox. You know how much money they would have made.
And that's a community-driven game. You need the more people in that games, and the fans were asking for it too. They were saying, "We want Xbox PC fans, Xbox fans. We want Xbox fans to join us." But you know, the developers, they left Sony, right?
Yeah. Yep. They got their independence, and that tells you a whole thing about Sony. Because from what I heard, a lot of people inside that studio was upset with them not doing multi-platform.
I think they were under the impression they were going to get multi-platform, then it was like changed at the end, and they were trying to push to get on Xbox.
PlayStation was sabotaging their own game because remember a month after, man, they were breaking all kinds of records.
Oh yeah,
and then Sony's like, yeah, in order to play this game, you have to have PSN.
And so
you have to sign in PSN.
That lasted a week, right? And
yeah, but there were some countries that couldn't even play it because they didn't have PSN. Yeah. So you're the company that made this game, is breaking all types of records. It's the only live service game that PlayStation made that's actually done anything. And then their greed self-sabotages the game. And it's just like, you know, we got to get to a point where we need to stop taking, like, I don't know, man. Dude, I gotta be honest with you. Ever since I became 40 years old, I look at a lot of things differently. You know, like why have physical stuff? I can't take it when I'm gone. Like, why do this? Like, who cares what console you play on? As long as you're playing on. Like, I just look at the world completely different. It took me 40 years to mature, but I did. But I just don't see the point of why are you hating on this guy because he plays on PlayStation?
I've never understood that. I grew up having all the consoles, so it wasn't like I never got into that console war, you know. And my thing was like, if I had Sega, my brother had Nintendo, my friend across the street had Nintendo, we just go to each other's houses and switch. You know, it wasn't like, oh, you got Nintendo, you suck. Oh, you got Sega, you suck. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. Yusufu, man. Holy monkey. Yusufu. Long time no see, bro. How's it going? Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, I agree with you. My brother-in-law, he's a PlayStation fanboy, bro. Like, I've been trying to convince this dude to get a PC. I'm like, bro, everything you play, you could play better and cheaper on a PC. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, when we move,
and you have a better catalog.
About getting a PS5 Slim. I'm like, why?
Why?
You're gonna pay $700 for a PS5 Slim. $300 more, you can get a PC that does
the same thing the PS5 you already have. Why?
Yeah, like the only games he plays is sports games and Call of Duty, but you can get the same games on PC and not have to pay for online to play it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A gimme.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Some people are just, I don't know. They look at the plastic box and they get like really territorial with it.
I got a friend. He's like 45, 46, and he refuses to get Game Pass and download digital games. I'm like, do you not realize the next console won't have a hard drive. Like, what are you gonna do?
A disk drive, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, this drive. But I'm like, he plays Call of Duty. I'm like, you can get Call of Duty day one now. He's like, well, I want to have a physical copy. I like putting the disc in. I'm like, I do too, but
you should tell him there's nothing on that disc, bro.
Yeah, that's what I see. You still gotta download the game when you put that disc in it. That's why I'm trying to explain to you. You still
that disc is just an activation key.
Yeah,
that's
it's
all.
Not it's not like back in the old days when you went and you bought a N64 cartridge. That game was all on that cartridge. There was no you gotta download a patch. You ain't gotta do this. It was all right there.
Geeky guy messaged me earlier today, and he was like, I bought Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This dude never played a JRPG in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why did, cool that you bought it and supported the devs because it was only 35 people that made it. I'm like, but you could have just got that on Game Pass and saved yourself $50. He's like, well, I'm 4 hours in and it's worth the money. Okay, that's great.
I'm glad you got a free game that's worth the money.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and the thing is, because he plays on PC now, he converted over to PC. He went from PlayStation to PC.
Okay.
I guess he's kind of smart.
Well, just download the Xbox PC.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, because one, if you're not if you never played JRPGs is much different than any other game. Like, to try to explain the difference between a JRPG and a regular RPG, because like you look at like Oblivion, Skyrim, those are regular American RPGs. JRPGs is completely different.
It's turn-based and everything. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, dude, like in a world today where everything is so expensive, why take a $50?
That's a lot.
You know what I could do with $50?
That's a bill. That's a bill.
Yeah.
That's my water bill. You know.
Now my one friend sent me a message earlier. My friend Lee sent me a message where they built a collector's edition of the monolith.
Oh, really?
From Expedition 33, it's $120.
I
kind of said the same thing, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I want to support the debt. Now see, when the game goes on sale on Steam, I'm gonna buy it on Steam.
Yeah.
Like when it gets down to $25, I'm gonna buy it on Steam. I'd rather play on Steam than Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just, dude, you know how many games I played last month? South of Midnight, Expedition 33, Doom. If I would have bought those games, that's $160 right there. I paid for $10.
You make your money back tenfold. If you play one game a month, you make your money back.
My wife is like, she's like looking like, why do you have all this extra money? I'm like, I don't buy video games anymore.
I'm not paying $60 a pop now for a game.
I did buy a game last night though. It was only $4.
What does that mean?
Borderlands 3. We were talking about Borderlands, so I was up doing some research. I went on Green Man Gaming.
Yeah.
And it was like Borderlands 3 $4. I was like, I'll buy this.
You're not losing nothing if you
yeah.
I go on Steam all the time and I look through all the little bargain bins they have down there.
Yeah.
Like, $5, $7.
I buy most of my games during Christmas when I get a bunch of gift cards from people during the winter sale or the summer sale or spring sale. That's when I buy my games.
If it's like $10 or $15, I don't mind paying that if I don't like it, because then I'm not really losing anything, you know.
Yeah, dude. When I saw that Blades of Fire was $60, I was like, bro, I would have bought it for $20.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have bought it yesterday for $20. I'm not paying $60 for that game.
Speaking of that, we're poor if we don't buy
yeah. So, do you want to get into that, or you want to get into the Bungie controversy?
Either one. They both. Bungie's freaking. I don't know what Bungie's doing anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Let's get to Borderlands since we kind of transitioned to that. These are our two big stories. We did hit the 50-minute mark. Let me know if you got to leave.
No, I'm good.
I'm off tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow too, so we can go over. No big deal.
Okay. So, hey, what's up, Dion?
And I've been drinking. Let's go.
Well, actually, Dion's here, so I want to get into Bungie because Dion is in the chat and he's a big Bungie fan. I think we've seen the last of Bungie, my friend.
I think because it's the third time they stole something from somebody. Oh, fourth. They've done it in 2021, 2020, 2022. Every year. And they always come out going, sorry, we fired the artist. Well, how many more artists is copyright, like stealing stuff? When you're following that artist on Twitter, okay, come on,
bro. Did you see the live stream they did?
Oh, it's bad.
When the guy just sitting like this the entire time.
Dude, and it's not even like it's like, you're in class, you kind of cheat off your buddy and you kind of change a word or two. They just basically copy and paste.
Copied and paste.
Like, it's bad. Like,
first of all, you already released a game that nobody wants.
Yeah,
and not only that, when you go back and look at that artist's work, that in Marathon, the entire aesthetic is based off of that artist's work.
And I want to say that style is her work, but all the little tiny stuff within that, like
the propaganda posters and stuff,
that's her work.
Like
100%. They copy. They didn't even put a filter or flip it or nothing. They just basically cut it out and put it on their thing.
So the way I look at it, Bungie has two choices: you delay the game to next year, and you remove all the assets.
The game's dead on arrival. I don't know what happens.
Or the game is already dead on arrival.
Yeah,
that's beyond argument right there. They need to pay the artist and just keep the stuff in there.
Yeah. Just cut them a check,
because it's just going to cost you more money to remove all the assets. Like, there was so much assets that they couldn't even show gameplay in the live stream this past week.
Yeah, because now it's copyright.
Yeah, and this game was already in trouble because their alpha beta or their alpha it didn't do well.
Arc Raiders killed them
Arc Raiders absolutely destroyed them. I remember it had to be like 2-3 years ago when Bungie said, "Hey, we're doing Marathon." I was excited because I thought we were gonna get Marathon. Like, I don't know if you remember the old Marathon game on PC and Mac and all that.
And they always reference it in Halo and all that.
Yeah, they always dude, my Halo 3 emblem is the Marathon emblem.
Yeah.
And even on the 360, they released the Marathon games on the 360.
Honestly, when I saw the art style alone, kind of just threw me off when they came out.
I don't like the neon color stuff.
It's too. I wouldn't call it cyberpunkish because that's a totally different aesthetic. I don't know what that was. It's real graffiti-ish, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it looked like it would give me a seizure.
Yeah,
it was like, I'm gonna have a seizure, bro. It's just the thing is, if I don't understand. Again, I don't know if this is a PlayStation problem or a Bungie problem, because PlayStation had the same problem. Like, they're all going in on live service. If Marathon would have came out and it had a campaign and the online was attached for $50-$60, as a fan of Halo, I would have bought it for the story.
Yeah.
For the story.
Just for the story. Yeah, just play the campaign and be done with it.
I was like, yeah, man, like, hey, if it's like a Halo spiritual successor, even though Halo is a spiritual successor to Marathon, it's like it came full circle. You know?
Yeah, and homage to the whole.
I'm like, hey, I would go into it, but then you come to find out, it's like, oh no, this is online only. Oh, that's the art style. It's an extraction shooter, and then Arc Raiders come out, completely wipes the floor with it.
I've never seen an alpha be that polished, and I'm buying Raiders when it comes out. And there's rumors that's going to get Shadow drop on the 6th. Rumors at the showcase, so Summerfest or whatever.
Yeah, Dion said the problem is this Bungie is not the same. Yeah, I know, and that's because when Bungie,
other than Destiny, what has they put out that's been a success?
Nothing.
Since
because Halo. but look at the track record of Bungie. If you want to be honest with you, Microsoft bought Bungie. They produced Halo. Bungie bought its independence from Microsoft, then got bought up by Activision. Didn't work out there. They bought their independence back.
Yeah.
Went to Sony, sold to Sony. Like, they went, like, they're literally cancer to the company.
Yeah.
So who do we blame? Do we blame Microsoft
for
Bungie?
You blame Bungie. You blame Bungie.
Exactly.
Because no matter at this point, you're the problem. You can't blame on your exes. You're the problem.
I don't know if you played Destiny. I
played Destiny a lot when it came out. Yeah,
I played the first one religiously with this dude Dion DG Shadow. Like, dude, like, I remember, dude. This is when I gave up on Destiny. I remember on my day off. This was when they did the Vault of Glass raid. Okay. It was the first DLC of Destiny. I played for 17 hours straight on my day off. This is why I'm divorced. Well, at least part of the reason why I'm divorced. And I remember when we beat the Vault of Glass, I finally got the raid boots I needed for my character. And I ran around the house like I won the lottery, like, yes. And then I stopped and think, bro, I just got really excited for fake boots that I'm never going to wear. And I literally stopped playing the game.
Because reality hit you.
So addicting. Yeah. It's like, and the thing was, when the next DLC, which I think was like Crota or whatever, came out, everything that you earned was irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you wanted the Gallahorn? You spent 500 hours getting the Gallahorn? Guess what? Not the most powerful gun anymore. Every time there was a new DLC, everything you worked your butt off for was irrelevant. And I was starting to look at it like, dude, they just want my money and time.
Yeah,
like, I don't have the time for
why grind when the grind is erased from you?
100%. And at that point, I gave up on Destiny. When Destiny 2 came out, I played the campaign. I was like, I want to see where the campaign goes. I never bought a DLC for Destiny 2. I just did not care. To me, they lost me as a consumer and a fan when I worked so hard for something and they just took it away from me. You know, It was like, oh, none of that stuff matters anymore. You know, I play stuff like First Ascendant now, but when a new DLC comes out, all the stuff I did still counts.
It still matters, yeah.
Yeah, and it's free, you know what I mean? But to his point, Bungie now isn't the Bungie that made Halo 2, 3.
Again, but Halo wasn't a live service game. It was an actual game of a game, you know.
Yeah, and when Bungie left Microsoft, more than half the crew stayed with Microsoft, and they formed 343.
It really wasn't the same.
Ross.
So it really wasn't the same Bungie that left.
Yeah, it wasn't the same Bungie. In fact, the main guy of Halo came back to Halo Infinite to help write the story.
That Spanish-looking dude?
Yeah. Came back to write the story and stuff and left Bungie. So it's just a
lot of people hate on Halo Infinite. I liked Halo Infinite.
I love Halo Infinite.
The multiplayer I didn't care so much for, but the story, I loved it. Yeah.
My only issues with the Halo 3 or the Halo Infinite story is in Halo Guardians, Cortana's bad. Mm-hmm. Halo Infinite, she's dead. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know?
And we get her pseudo sister, daughter.
Yeah. the weapon. But I like her. Like, even though she's fully clothed, I like my Cortana's naked. But hashtag Halo 4 Cortana is
the best.
MILF, like the best. Yeah. But yeah, I really like the story mode. I felt like there were so many plot points that were just skipped over, that were just skimmed. And it felt like
because it wasn't linear like the other ones, the open world kind of
messed
it up a little
bit. Because if you found a certain skull or something, it kind of tells you what happened to Locke.
Yeah. So
like Locke was dead or something, but they never told you. They just killed him off screen or whatever, which kind of sucks. Like I don't mind Locke. I didn't like what they were trying to do with Locke. Because it was clear he was Master Chief's replacement, and the fans were like, "No, we didn't put up with that. Metal Gear 2, we're not putting up with this here."
And like I didn't. So did you watch the movies?
Every one of them.
Nightfall.
Yeah,
I didn't like how they introduced him in that one.
Yeah, it was pitch black on Halo.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were on Halo.
Yeah,
I can't remember if they were on a Halo ring or not, but it was dark, and then you had all the hunter worms hunting them.
Yeah.
But I liked it at the end because like that Spartan finally accepted him. He was like, "I'll see you in Valhalla."
Yeah,
I actually thought the better Halo movie was Until Dawn.
That's the best one. That should have been.
That was great.
That's almost the Halo movie we should have got. That's the best looking Halo I've seen.
Yes,
hands down.
Like it's I will low watch that. Budget. But it's so good. It explains.
That should have been a TV show.
Yes, that's what the TV show should have been.
Yeah,
because it explained how the Outer Rim was fighting with the Inner Rim because of the crops and stuff and the incursion.
Basically, right after Harvest, when they make first contact with the Covenant, because not every colony knew about the Covenant yet.
Yeah, and then it showed because Lackey, Captain Lackey or Sergeant Lackey, who was the main character in Halo 4. It was his origin story and how Master Chief
I like how that tied directly to the game.
Yeah, and then the girl he liked died. She had that needle stuck in. Yeah. Like, it was really good. Like, it was really good.
We have not Until Dawn. Until Dawn, right?
Was it Until Dawn or Till Dawn. It was one of that.
Yeah, watch that. It's a good watch.
Yeah, because they released it when Halo 4 was coming out. They released it in like little mini web episodes on Halo Waypoint.
Then I bought it on Blu-ray. It came out on
Blu-ray. I have it on Blu-ray. I have that on Blu-ray.
I have Netflix right now too.
Yeah, I have Nightfall on Blu-ray. I have the animated movie, the Halo Reach animated movie.
And I have the Legends, and I have the one.
Yes, Legends is my favorite.
And I have the other Spartan one, with like them as kids and everything. They talk about this one. I have that one too.
Yeah,
so
I have all that.
Yeah,
that stuff too, man.
I read all the books and all that stuff.
I'm a Halo sweaty, man. I'm right
there with you. Like how you are with Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's how I am with Halo.
Yeah.
That's why that show pissed me off so much.
Yeah, because when you look at something like the Till Dawn movie, and you look at what they did in the Halo series, it's like, bro, you had the blueprint.
Yeah.
You look at what Fallout did and what Last of Us did, I'm just like,
we followed the blueprint. It's not that
hard.
Yeah.
You don't even need Master Chief as the main character.
No.
You could have had like first of all, they did my boy
Sergeant Johnson should have been in that show. For one
That's what I was just about to mention. They did my boy Johnson dirty. They made Miranda Keyes' father basically Sergeant Johnson, who was a white dude in the games.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, what's up, Nick? I don't know what they were doing, man. I thought season 2 was better.
Well, the end of season 2 was better when we finally got to the freaking ring.
Yeah, to the Halo ring.
And the quote unquote fall of reach. I call it that fall of reach, but the fall of reach was better. But I didn't like the Spartan 3s though. That was kind of dumb. How they made that one girl Spartan 3 like all of a sudden. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, they bear all on that show. Master Chiefs and all, bro.
Well, it's dead now, so.
So okay, so let's finish this topic. What do you think is going to happen with Bungie? Do you think they're going to? Me personally, I think this is the end of Bungie. I think
they'll get bought out by somebody.
The rumor is Sony warned them if this is not successful, that they're just going to absorb them into the Sony company. So Bungie, as we know it, won't exist.
Okay.
Yeah. And to me, like Dion said a little while ago, this isn't the same Bungie, man.
Yeah.
This is the end of Bungie.
And like I said, what have they put out that's been a success since Halo, other than Destiny?
What they should have done was release the Destiny 3, and they should have done a marathon with a campaign.
Yep.
Do you know? I don't know if you know this. They reached out to Microsoft before Sony bought them and wanted to get acquired back by Microsoft. And Microsoft said, hey, you ain't worth $3.5 billion.
So we already got 343. We're good.
Like, yeah, we got 343. Whether you like the new Halo games or not, I actually think they get a lot of bad rap. I think the only bad game 343 made was Halo Guardians.
Yeah. And honestly, it wasn't as bad as the game everybody says it is.
You know what the real problem with Halo Guardians was? You're right. The game is not as bad as people make it out. The marketing was bad.
I agree.
Because the marketing make it sound like Master Chief went rogue. Really, he just took a vacation day.
Yeah.
And everybody freaked out. Master Chief was like, yeah, I got the signal from Cortana. I'm just going to take a day off to go see what it is. And and then they said walk in.
To hunt him down, basically. Hunt him down.
But they were doing like little web podcasts and like shows and stuff. And all the lead up was like Master Chief went rogue, and it's like none of that was what happened.
I listened to all those podcasts and everything.
Yeah, none of that was happening.
Yeah,
it was sort of like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. It was like a lot of false advertisement of what that.
They had they had a lot of marketing, but it made Master Chief, the one that everybody loved, look like the bad guy.
Yeah,
and that kind of turned people off. So
and the first teaser of that game shows Master Chief in the desert, and he's holding Cortana's broken chip, and he's looking up. He's got the cloak on.
I remember they released that at the Microsoft thing. Everybody went crazy when they saw that.
Yeah, none of that's in the game.
Yeah,
none of it.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just unfortunately. I think Bungie's time is. I think Marathon's gonna flop.
I think, and then once this whole lawsuit and everything, it's just a one bad thing. That's all negative stuff from them. Yeah. I just don't see it coming out positive from them anyway.
Yeah, nowadays, man, we see studios get shut down left and right. Yeah. You know, like look what happened to Concord. They spent $500 million on Concord. And shut the game down in 2 weeks and disbanded the whole studio.
Look at Titanfall 3. That would never get Titanfall 3.
Yeah. Yep, unfortunately. And then we get to our final topic. This is the big marquee topic. Guys, if you're a real fan, you will find a way to pay for an overpriced game. That is from CEO of Borderlands. I forgot dude's name. I don't really care.
Randy Pitchford.
Yeah.
His goober looking ass. Yeah, so basically, if you got a bill or you got medicine you got to get for your sick grandma, don't buy it. Buy Borderlands. If you're a real fan.
Dude, his
This isn't the first time he said something stupid like that either.
No, he says stuff stupid all the time. The thing is, okay, here's my biggest problem. And I did a video on this. The biggest problem I have is he brings up an example. Look, all he had to do was say, "Hey, that's not my call. I apologize," and then be cool with it, you know? But then he goes in going, if you're a real fan, you will find a way. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
If Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake comes out and it's $80, hell or high water, I will find a way. I do agree with that. That's still something you don't say publicly.
Because it comes off as now you're not a real fan if you can't afford my game.
Yes.
Basically, you know.
Yeah.
And knowing the economy that we are in right now, how people are struggling, you're basically saying if you're poor, you can't be a fan. You know.
Oh, either you pay full price for this game, or if you don't really support us, then you're not really truly a fan.
Yeah.
You know, and his example that he
used basically guilt tripping your fans into buying your game.
Because he came out and said, like, in 1991, I worked part time or like minimum wage at an ice cream parlor, and I bought a Sega Genesis game, Starflight, for $80. First of all, Randy, give us some context. Are you living on your own in 1991?
How old were you? Were you?
Were you living with your parents? Not only that, would you mind explaining how much eggs cost back then compared to now? How much gas cost back then? You know, you can go to McDonald's and buy a whole value meal for $1.99, bro.
Yeah.
And like, it's when people use the 90s game catalogs as an argument, and like, you guys are complaining, but look at the games in the 90s. Everything was cheaper back then.
Yeah. I can go to McDonald's with $5 and come out with like 2 big boxes of fucking food. It wasn't like
I remember my dad used to go to Taco Bell and for $10 buy the big box of tacos.
The family
for
box,
a family of 5 for $10.
Yeah.
It just, we don't live in those times now, man. Like me and my wife, we're trying to budget to move and find a place. And we're trying, and the last thing I'm worrying about is freaking Borderlands 4 for $80.
Oh, we gotta make sure put added in the budget. $80 for Borderlands.
And like, look, man, I stand on the belief that no game is worth $80. I stand, like, as good as Grand Theft Auto.
I complained when games went to $60, $70. I complained about that.
I think $50 is.
I think 50 is a sweet spot for games. You know,
especially
now most games are digital. I still can't. You can't justify me the price increase for a non-physical property that I have in my possession.
Yeah, anymore. You don't have a manual. You don't have a case.
Yeah,
you don't have a CD. Why am I paying an upcharge for a game that literally all you're doing is pressing a button and putting it on your digital store?
Yeah. I don't want to hear about it costs more to develop these games now. No.
But that's not our fault.
Not our fault.
We were just talking about Battlefront, right? Mm-hmm. How good does Battlefront look? Battlefront 2.
Almost a 10-year-old game. Looks
almost
amazing.
A 10-year-old game looks better than most games that we have today.
I would put it up to any game right now that just got released yesterday, as far as graphics-wise.
And exactly. When we talk about like Grand Theft Auto and Hellblade 2, man, those Battlefront games, it looks right on par with that.
Yeah,
you could easily trick people and make them think that's a modern game, and that game came out 2 generations ago.
Yeah,
you know, so I don't understand why these. You know what it is, and I heard a rumor. I don't want to report this as fact because again, I'm only reporting this as rumor. Mm-hmm. The problem is developers' price, like their income, is so much more. I heard that the average game developer is making like $140,000 a year.
Oh yeah,
that's a lot of money to make a game, right? Like, dude, I don't want to throw this out there, but I make $35,000 a year, bro.
Yeah.
And I work my ass off. These developers, and I'm not saying these developers aren't working hard.
I mean, you gotta. I get. Yeah, it's a skill you gotta have to do that. I get it, but that's a lot of money on that. But I don't even think it's like the developers part about it. I think it's like, we're casting these actors to do these, these big time actors and everything.
I don't get that.
I love it, Expedition 48, but we got A-list actors playing their voices in there.
Yeah. That's another thing I don't get, because now they get these actors to do mocap, and do voice acting.
So like before, it was cheaper to do voice acting, but now I need that actor to be in the studio now for mocap to capture their face and everything.
Yeah,
so
the green screen and money, everything.
So that's going to cost more.
Yeah, and it's, to me, that's fine. I don't mind that. Don't make your game 30 hours long.
But here's the thing. Okay, that justifies the price increase. But then you have Mario Kart for $80 when there's none of that in there.
Nothing.
No motion capture, no of this.
Nothing.
You got
open
cartoon
world.
voices. You got cartoon voices that can do with AI.
It's open world.
Yeah.
And guess what? Forza Horizon is open world, and guess what? It's a $60 game.
Yeah.
And
actually,
a lot better.
You need more, because that's more realistic. You actually need those actual cars and
engineers. Yeah, they have to pay for the license and all that.
And you got to know how those cars actually work and how they perform in the real world. So,
Geeky got doing $5 super chat. Rob, after being Expedition 33, will you play Baldur's Gate 3? And it's OM. Baldur's Gate 3 level, if you ask me. I have played Baldur's Gate 3. It's not my cup of tea personally.
I want to try. I never played a game like that before. I want to try.
So here's the problem. I liked it. The way I played it, I think it ruined it for me. I played it on I actually own it twice. I own it on Steam and I own it on Xbox.
Okay.
The first time I played it was on Xbox. It's really hard
with a
controller. My sister-in-law, she's a big Dungeons and Dragons fan.
Yeah, my friend, him and his wife, they love that game. So
she beat the game 3 times. She's like, no, it's better on PC with a mouse and keyboard because you can control more the thing. Yeah. So maybe I'll go in and play it on PC with a mouse and keyboard, but just playing it with a controller was not my style, man. But getting back to the topic though,
you're seeing more of these CEOs. They're out of touch with reality now.
They are.
They're making these statements or doing these, changes in their companies, and it's not what the consumer is asking for, or it affects the consumer in a negative way. So I don't understand why they're doing it when it's going to hurt them in the long run.
If you look at the top 4 rated and selling games of the past couple of months, all of them are $40 and $50.
And
South of Midnight,
small developer companies too, right?
Yeah, South of Midnight, Expedition 33, Blueprints, and Split Fiction. Mm-hmm. All those games are $40 to $50. Yeah. 3 of those games will be nominated for Game of the Year.
Split
Fiction, Blueprints, and Expedition 33.
Okay. Maybe South of Midnight for music.
South of Midnight, maybe. I love the game. If it was me, it would be in mine. Whether or not the Game Awards does it or not.
I think Expedition 33 is going to win a bunch of awards this year.
Expedition 33 is
going to wipe everything out.
Dude, I beat it Monday. The ending just dude,
isn't there alternate endings though? The way how
there's 2 alternate endings.
Okay.
When you get to the end, you have to make a choice between 2 characters. There's a good ending, which is the true ending, and then there's a bad ending. I keep telling my friend Lee, bro, I know you love this character, but when you get to the end, do not side with that character, because that's not the right ending. Just because you like that character, do not side with that character.
Yeah, I've seen the ending. I've watched people do breakdowns.
Yeah, I picked the right ending, and then I went and watched the other one on YouTube.
Yeah,
because I tried to go back to the checkpoint and redo it, but when you go back to the checkpoint, it doesn't let you redo the boss battle. So it's like you can do New Game Plus, which I love that game so much.
That's a long game.
Yeah, but see, if I do New Game Plus, I don't need to level grind.
Yeah, are they going to do any DLC for that game?
No, but I'm willing to bet $100 they're going to do a sequel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's. I haven't had a RPG
You said since Final Fantasy that made
Final Fantasy X, man.
Yeah.
Because Final Fantasy X was because this game had a lot of inspiration from Final Fantasy X. It's like the world is ending. We need to go on this pilgrimage to stop the end of the world. Sort of the same thing with Expedition 33. But what made, dude, I was so good at parrying by the end of the game. I was just parrying every damn thing.
That's why I was playing. I gotta get better at my parrying.
The key is play with headphones. You will hear a trigger cue to let you know when to press. Okay. Yeah. And I was just like left, right, just parrying everything, man. I was like,
I wasn't really big JRPG player. I did play a game called Legend of the Dragoon back in the day on PS2 or PS1. PS1. I love that game. I want that to be remastered. So
there's a outcry right now. Yeah. Like, hey guys, we want this like Expedition.
I will definitely get that somewhere.
Expedition 33 definitely, I think, is going to be an
reawakening for
because Final Fantasy 16 came out and they made it like Devil May Cry hack and slash, and a lot of hardcore fans like me hate the game because that's not what Final Fantasy is. And Square came out and said, well, people don't like turn-based RPGs no more. And then like Sandfall and Expeditions like, hold my beer, let me show you how to do it, you know? So yeah, but right now I'm kind of in between games. I don't know what to play next.
I'm just kind of dabbling around right now. I'm playing Battlefront. I've played a little some other one called The Priest. I'm playing that on my own. It's a little kind of old classic.
Dude, I've seen you playing that. I want to play it.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's got issues with it, but it's a fun game, you know.
Yeah. I got like 5 games downloaded right now. I downloaded Battlefront. I'm on the final chapter. Yeah. I downloaded Indiana Jones, Hi-Fi Rush, Blades of Time.
I played Hi-Fi Rush on Xbox when it came out.
Yeah, so did I. I never finished it, so I was thinking about finishing it. Metal Gear Rising and Remember Me. A lot of these games are 360 games.
What's Remember Me? Is that a story game?
Yeah, it was on 360 and PS3. I got it on PC, and you're basically playing like this female cyborg.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, because Expedition, it took me 42 hours to beat. Yeah. So I want something a little shorter to kind of cleanse my palate. But I think the next big game I'm going to dive into is Metaphor Refantasio, because it's on Game Pass.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like an RPG just like Expedition, but it's like anime style. But I'm going to wait till after June 10th because I want to play Space Marine Remastered.
Yeah. I've been off with a game because it's a show I like called The Expanse. They got they got a game I've been playing with that. That's pretty fun. Kind of like the
Telltale game?
Yeah, Telltale game, but it's more like the Alien game when you like going through the ships and everything. But it has a story you have to follow and certain decisions you make change things during the way. But it's fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of like in between games. Then I started playing that freaking Pac-Man game, and I
downloaded that retro game. I want to dive into that.
Yeah, I want to try the Pitfall. There's a lot of those.
Well, I saw MechWarrior. I love MechWarrior from back in the day. It's one of the first PC games I had as a kid.
And they said more to come too.
Yeah.
And I think that's really smart. You have all the license to these Activision games.
Might as well
start putting them out there, man. Yeah, I think, dude. I don't want to try to like sound like a fanboy, but dude, I think Microsoft is really doing.
I tell everybody, Game Pass is the best thing in the gaming industry right now to have.
Now, do you have Game Pass Ultimate or just PC Game Pass?
I got Ultimate.
Ultimate, so you're paying $17 a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like 16, 17. Yeah. So
I
still got my consoles. I like might as well have both of them. So
yeah. I downgraded to PC Game Pass because I sold my Series X. All I have is my Xbox One, which I could use Game Pass for that as well.
Yeah. Well, when I got my Xbox, I got the Ultimate for a full year, and I never changed it. So it was like,
now I was telling people, like, man, to me, they could raise Game Pass to $30. I still think that's a steal.
It would still be worth it, honestly.
Dude, like I said, look at all those games that came out last year.
If you play 2 different games every month for a whole year, you're making your money back tenfold. You know?
Okay, so last month we had South of Midnight, Expedition 33, Doom, and there was one other one. Oh, Oblivion Remastered.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say those are 4 games. Let's just say $50 each.
So
Doom is $70.
If you say $30 a month, that's $360 a year that you would pay for Game Pass.
And the 4 games I just mentioned come to $220.
Yeah, you paid 3 more. You done So you play,
and you know you're gonna get Call of Duty at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. We got the new Ninja Gaiden remastered. The next Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out.
Yeah. So if you played one game for 6 months, you've made your money back off the rip.
100%. I'm gonna read this super chat, then we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Geek Guy through $5. Robert DJ, what are your thoughts on the inside rumors that Rocksteady will remake Arkham Asylum, Capcom style after the failure? Capcom style. Oh, because of like what they did with Resident Evil after the failure, just like Suicide Squad Kills of Justice League. I don't think that's a rumor. I think that's been confirmed. Now, I didn't hear it was the Arkham Asylum remake. I heard it was just
another one.
Yeah, I heard it was going to be another game in that series. Okay. Personally, I think an Arkham Asylum remake is a smart idea. It's a beloved game.
Yeah.
You already have the blueprints to it. Remake it like Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 and make it better.
Yeah.
Bigger and better. Have you ever played the Arkham game?
I played the first one. The first one, yeah.
If you play the first one on PC and Xbox, because Xbox they do like next gen upgrades to it on the Series X and S, and you play it on PC, I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't really need a remake because it still looks and runs really good.
Yeah.
But I think it's smart. It depends. If they do a remake and it's $80, no. If they do a remake like Oblivion and it's $50 to $40,
yeah, or free on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I've never Oblivion remake. I've never seen a remake like that. That's a whole new game. That's a whole new game.
Remastered my ass. That's a new remake.
Yeah, that's a remade game. You start that whole franchise over again, basically.
Yeah, that's completely remade from the ground up, man.
I never played the first one, and I went back and saw how the first one looked compared to this one. It's a different game.
Dude, do you see like the side by sides of the Last of Us remake? It's literally the same.
Yeah. I saw someone do it in a video, and he's like, "This one. I tricked you. They're both the same game."
Yeah.
So you can't tell.
Someone posted on Facebook. It shows Zelda Link to the Past, and then it showed Ocarina of Time, and they're like, back in my day, from generation to generation. And you see the hugely, and then it shows. Yeah, then it shows Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 1 and Switch 2. And they're like modern day generationally exactly the same.
And that's what I've said before. Like there's nothing to justify me that games should be increased. There's no increase in technology. I said the only next gen I've seen so far has been Hellblade and GTA from the trailers. We still haven't really seen gameplay yet from GTA yet.
You know what I totally forgot to do this whole time because we were so dived into the conversation. I forgot to give away those free games, bro.
Well, you stuck around. Here's the game.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys stuck around, I said I was going to give away some games here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in some of those games now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to throw in the Wolfenstein game first. So like I said, you could redeem this if you have an Xbox or PC. If you have PC, you have to redeem it in the Microsoft store. Okay. So if you have an Xbox console, you just redeem it like you normally would. If you have a PC, just go through the Microsoft store. So this is going to be first come, first serve. I'm going to do the Wolfenstein game first. Here's the code. And whoever gets it, gets it.
Battle to the death.
Yep. Battle to the death. That's the code. You guys can copy, paste it, do whatever you want. And again, I was so much in the conversation, I didn't get to do
I forgot all about this.
Yeah,
we didn't end early.
Yeah, this is the
second show,
right? The Minecraft Legends game. Again, Xbox and PC. You guys can feel free to redeem it, and whoever gets them, man. You guys feel free to get it. If you guys are watching this on playback, feel free to pause it. See.
Copy and paste.
Battle is Hell in the Cell. Battle in Hell in the Cell. Yeah. So those are the games, man. You guys can have them for free. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do at least one game giveaway every show. Also, just kind of reiterate that we're doing this on both channels, but after next show, which is our third show, which is going to be in 2 weeks. After that is going to be strictly on the gaming channel. So that might not help with views overall but I have to kind of get people to go over to that channel. It can't just be on both channels. So, if you haven't subscribed to the RSG Plays channel, I definitely recommend you guys go over there and sub to the RSG Plays channel. All right, DJ, man, that's about all I have. You have anything left to say before we end the show?
IGN, you suck at game reviews because the way they were all positive for Bungie's a marathon and crapping on Arc Raiders. Someone's getting paid over there.
Well, you know how it is.
I know how
like,
IGN.
Hey, we'll fly you out and let you preview. Like, we both got blocked from Colt Eastwood for the same.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
It's like,
we're not lying. I copied what Rob said and got blocked.
Yeah.
So.
And I love when Colt Eastwood does his podcast. Like, yeah, I don't block people for nothing. Like, bro, all I did was say you gave Redfall a positive review because they flew you out there. Like, dude, come on. It's human nature. You're getting flown out there. You're being wine and dine.
You're gonna have a subconscious bias when you do.
Yeah, it's like like when you start getting treated like certain way, you don't want to say anything negative about that stuff. That's why I'd rather watch schmo people like us on YouTube.
Yeah,
that give like good honest reviews. You know,
we're not being pampered by this, companies and everything.
Yeah, 100%. Just like the video game awards, don't take that serious, man.
Yeah.
Dang, dude. When Jeff Keighley said Elden Ring DLC is gonna be nominated for Game of the Year, that lost all credibility right there.
Oh, a DLC should never be nominated for a game. It's not a game. It's not a game.
100%. 100%. So again, do you have anything else you want to say?
All I got.
All right, man. That's all I got for the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I probably could talk for another 2 hours, but my old lady's waiting for me. But thank you guys for watching. Please sub over to the RSG Plays channel. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with hopefully a lot more news, and we'll find out what Bungie ends up doing. So anyway, guys, if you don't buy a game, you're not a real fan. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you, and we'll check you guys all out next time. Later.